Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Anime-Zing Radio. I'm your host of the evening, Angela Rose, and joining me is Mr. Darren Sterling.
Who that?
And Doug will be either not appearing in this episode or joining us late, depending on the railroad.
As is such the life of the people fated to work for the railroad.
And one thing I can say is here in this country, delays on the railroad are kind of a fact of life. I don't know how public transit is where you are, but here, if somebody actually said the public transit was 100% on time, I wouldn't believe them.
Basically, this isn't Japan.
Exactly where I was going with that. In Japan, they've actually issued apologies for literally being 2 minutes late. Maybe
Yep.
even less.
Yep. And
And
they even give you little excuse notes.
yep. And Ross says, "Hey, how's your week going?"
I'm tired. I was about asleep. I just did laundry and just put on fresh sheets. So went to lay down, and you know how that goes.
I do know how that goes all too well. And fun fact, I just finished laundry too, strangely enough. I was supposed to do that on Friday, but got distracted by life, the universe, and everything, and remembered about 2 hours ago, hey, you need to do that.
Well, if I had forgotten, I'd be sleeping on a mattress with no sheets, no nothing.
No, I'd just be scrambling around trying to find a specific pair of pants in the morning.
Hmm.
But actual running like a marathon, Ross? I mean, overall, the week has been somewhat uneventful. I went to work.
I watched anime.
I
So
didn't.
there's something.
I didn't. That's this week's project. Today's errands was go down, go out shopping, and get things we should get before going to Japan, like get good walking sneakers now so we can get them broken in. Cause fun tip, don't go don't go buy brand new shoes and then go walking effectively 30,000 steps a day for 2 weeks. Cuz I did that and it hurts. And hello to you too, John. But I suppose I'll start with the dumb question of how's the weather been down there?
Haven't had much rain at all this week. It's actually been rather nice and pleasant. It's like fall's here early.
Whereas I think we're still kind of in summer. Because it was like in the it was in like the 70s and absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. If we're anywhere remotely gorgeous, it's close to fall.
Where the leaves haven't started to turn yet, so we're not in real fall.
Leaves have already started falling here.
That's just sad.
Oh yeah, and they're making my yards more difficult. Because then now I got to take longer to deal with them, and I don't even have my blades on for them.
Again, that's just sad. But no, today was like one of those perfect days. It was sunshine. It was the sun was shining. It was like perfect temperature wise. Like good to be outdoors, and it's like days like that good for the mental health. But are you did you you said you watched anime. Have you actually managed to catch up on anything?
Aya and Failure Frame, and mostly on Shikanoko. And then I had a couple others I was working on. Aya is adorable, and Yuki is best Emoto.
And Ross points out that and I'd forgotten about this, the Spy Family movie Code White is now available on Crunchyroll.
Mm. I've seen people in other anime groups posting about it, but I keep forgetting to watch it. So
Watch it. It's adorable. We actually went to see that in theaters.
hmm.
So Ross, how was Comic-Con? And John Knight says today is National Actors Day. Wait a minute, why am I using my phone? I have a computer screen to look stuff up.
Because natural habitat, natural instinct at this point, because everyone has a phone.
You're not wrong. But but no. Um it's also looking very possible that I will actually be doing an anime convention in the fall.
No idea what those are. What are those?
I know, right?
I haven't been to one since anime, so
I haven't been to one before Anime Boston. But I'm actually talking to people. I'm actually in talks with people up at Anime, and so I may be up there in November.
right.
And granted, that'll probably just be me running around talking to people, streaming around the convention with depending on permissions. and then or potentially throwing together a panel about, my travels.
Hmm.
And Ross says the last week itself was pretty rough, but Saturday he got all the autographs he wanted to, except Jeremy Lee, who couldn't make it because of a family emergency. Good reason not to be at a convention. Family first. And Michelle, he got a hug from Michelle Ruff during the convention. That's awesome, Ross. I'm glad you got the autographs you wanted. Uh, hopefully all is well with Jeremy Lee. Family emergency could be anything, but hopefully all is well. Fingers crossed. It's nothing like super serious.
Yep.
Because we've all been there.
Yep. Last week, I was on the way home from visiting my grandma, and she passed away that next afternoon. She was 89.
Condolences, and 89 means she lived a good long life.
Yep. Her and her husband this was their 70th anniversary.
Wow.
And he's still living. He's 93.
That's impressive.
Indeed. And then my great aunt, who is right there, who was right there with us, she's either 89 or 90 herself, so. And she's still here.
Here's to hoping we live that long and have that kind of life quality.
I know, right? Count your days, count your blessings. You never know what life has in store for you, because before you know it, there may not be a tomorrow.
Precisely. Um but yeah, life has a funny way. Oh, make the most of the time you've got.
Yep.
But
What else we got coming up?
I'm purposely um, up and hey, we have a Doug.
Sometimes.
A wild Doug appeared.
Indeed.
Hello. I just got home from work.
Um we have been at the We've just kind of been chatting about the week. Ross was telling us about the convention he went to over the weekend.
Oh, that's awesome.
I've been doing we went out today to do some Japan prep.
I have the cat in the background knocking over the box of chips because she's a pain in the butt.
Oh, well. Gotta love her.
And Ross, I'm glad that you had a excellent time at the convention. I'm trying to go back and see some of the comments here. I actually made it to Colossal Con on Friday. It was only for a few hours, but it was great to go out and say hi to Gavin. Gavin says hello, Darren and Angela.
Tell
Hello
him
to
to get his
Gavin
butt.
as well.
Tell him to get his butt back down here.
He says it all depends on the timing of other conventions. You know, he loves the cons down there. It was the first time in a long time that he has been to Colossal Con East himself. Also got to talk with his dad. We figured out we hadn't seen Gavin in person since Plattsburgh Comic Con, like 2017 or 2018.
So I was the one to see Gavin last. Good God.
I've not. We have determined that I have not met Gavin in person. Although we both it is entirely we determined we were both at the same Gen Con, but that would have been 2013, 2012.
So 10 years ago.
Yeah. And it is, while it is entirely possible our paths crossed, very unlike, like, no memory.
And I got to say hi to Emmy Lowe, and I also got Michelle Rojas's autograph.
Very nice, very nice.
And I did get some photos from my time out there, which I'd be happy to share with everybody if they're interested in seeing.
Put them up on the show's Facebook page, Doug.
Yeah, I've got to share that post over there.
We have the technology. We need to use it.
Yes. And I'll have to figure all of that stuff out later. I don't want to get too sidetracked.
Ooh, sidetracked? What's that?
Never heard of it.
But I can share the screen because I did pull up the Facebook post that I had made. And
I will say there are some things we always end up bringing up, and I feel like we have talked about this enough previously where it's worth the news you shared in our shared earlier today, Darren, is worth sharing on air.
Go ahead.
You know what? It's easier this way. Now I have to find it so I don't get it wrong. It is a known fact that we all like. It is a known fact that we all like food. We all like food places, and it was announced today that the president and CEO of Waffle House passed away,
which is somewhat significant just because of the reputation Waffle House has in the South. Because Waffle House in the South is an experience of its own.
Yes, it is.
The Waffle House employees are a special breed, especially the third shift workers.
Not wrong in the slightest. I've not experienced third shift, but I have experienced Waffle House in the South enough.
Basically, there's a couple of rules. If your cook ain't outside smoking, if you don't witness a fight, if there's not a brawl in Waffle House or any kind of sus activity, are you really a Waffle House? There's multiple videos going around that has McDonald's, Popeyes, and Waffle House, which employees would win in a scrap. And everyone's like, it's not even a contest.
No, it's not. Up here,
One guy said, the Waffle House employees will beat the Popeyes employees with the McDonald's employee.
Up north, the who would win in a scrap with all the fast food chains would actually be a contest. That would be a crapshoot depending on the day, depending on the specific employees.
In the end, Roberto will come out on top.
Oh God.
But in all seriousness, Waffle House, if a Waffle House closes for any reason, that area is probably not inhabitable because Waffle House actually has what they call the Waffle House system with the federal government. If everything is if Waffle House is open and running and normal, it's code green. If Waffle House is running on a limited menu, then that means there's probably storms, natural disasters in the area. Limited power.
Waffle
And
House is
then
to the south like Dunkin' Donuts is to New England. It is the only thing open when all hell breaks loose, like storms and
A hurricane hits, you can still go to Dunkies and get your coffee. And it's still cheaper than Starbucks.
Yep. And you see, Waffle House will actually have generators, outside cooking utensils, food shipped in during those disasters to keep operating if the main building loses power. And if Waffle House is closed for any reason, then you've probably basically just been hit by at least a category 4 or 5 storm or a tornado of some kind that physically destroyed the building.
or snow.
Nope.
I feel like snow would shut down a Waffle House.
Nope, it won't.
Huh. And commentary in the chat, Ross, first comment, he got to see a preview board for Arkansas Fest in February, and Bill Farmer, the voice of Goofy from Disney, is going to be there.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he's hoping to meet him. And then on an not related to anime note, Linkin Park debuted their new vocalist on Thursday.
And their guitarist already quit.
I hadn't heard that yet.
That was yesterday.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
I you know
personally, I think they should have changed the name. Still done Linkin Park stuff, but under a new name because it won't ever be the same as it was.
Yep.
You do know that they put out music, I think it was like a year or two ago, with unused. They found some unused vocals from Chester that they incorporated into their music, and a new song came out like a year or two ago.
I did not know that.
Yep.
And Ross says he thought it was a drummer that quit.
I heard
their drummer. Well, no, their drummer was their drummer. The drummer that's in the music video with the new vocalist is a new drummer.
I heard something about their guitarist.
You know what? I'm looking that up because the drummer I know is new because the drummer was previously associated with a Japanese band, One OK Rock.
Oh.
And
yes, new drummer Colin Britton in place of original drummer Rob Borden. Okay. Their guitarist Brad Delson will only be involved with Linkin Park in the behind the scenes and in the studio. will be replaced on. It looks like will be replaced by guitarist Alex Fetter.
So I was partially right.
Basically, they're going to have one guitarist in the studio and another on tour.
That's not uncommon. I've actually heard that a lot of bands or a lot of groups will have, when they go in studio, they'll have a studio band that's different from the touring band. That's a very, very common thing when it comes to recording music.
But
I forget who it was, but somebody was talking about it, and that it would they made a big deal about that. The touring band actually got on an album as opposed to a studio band.
it gets to these days. It gets to a point where some members change so much. Is it really the same band?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I mean,
I'll say this: the Rolling Stones are still producing music, and they're in their 80s, and most of their members are still the exact same ones.
yes. But to use a quote from either Guitar Hero or Rock Band, a band is the dysfunctional family you choose.
Kind of like this show.
Precisely.
Yeah,
And
we were chosen by Doug.
sometimes I question why I was chosen, but
and it's funny talking with Gavin, because like seeing each other for the first time in years, we had a lot of really good conversations, and the topic was brought up about bringing Angela on, and I said, I really am glad that I brought Angela on, because she adds such a different perspective from what Darren and I have had for years on the show, especially just with me being the staple on the show. And Gavin agreed that having you on the show has improved the show quite a bit, because it adds a different dynamic. You like almost a complete 180 opposite of stuff I like. You also add a female perspective to anime, as opposed to everybody just listening to Darren and I argue about waifus for 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also the fact that I tend to share more anime with you than
I do.
Than you and Doug do.
Well, yes.
I'm like the middle ground of the show.
Agreed, which is weird.
And then we have the awesome people in the chat. We were talking about the wonderful listeners we have with Ross and John Knight and everybody else that has come in, talked about Karma. Gavin was surprised to hear Karma still comes in from time to time. He's one of the OGs from back in the Hazy Radio days, and Pop Girl coming in, and Julili will come in from time to time, and KK and Mario, and I mean we have amazing listeners, and we even Gavin said the people who tune in, the knowledge they have is unbelievable. So really a lot of love to you guys out there who tune in every week and support us, because your support doesn't go unnoticed or unappreciated. Even our sponsors have seen it and appreciate you guys. Like I mentioned, I'd gone to Colossal Con over the weekend. I did get an autograph from Michelle Rojas. I had to, because I hadn't met her in person yet, and a lot of people, I think, remember the
share your screen.
I don't have the picture of the autograph there, but I can share the screen of the photos I did take from Colossal Con. Colossal Con is known for having a lot of automobiles on display that have been wrapped or animeized.
Itasha.
You touched it.
Yeah, it's weird. My new car doesn't have anything on it yet.
There you go, Darren. An Eva car. We had.
And of course, it's the Subaru.
Yep. I'm not sure which.
Subaru is like the iconic car in the anime community.
Then you had the Evolution car. Had the Sylveon on the side, Umbreon and Eevee on the hood, and I forget that one.
Is that Espeon?
I think that is.
I think the one on the right is Espeon. The one in the middle looks like Jolteon.
I can't.
I think that's just. I'm not sure if that's
Eevee.
I think that's Eevee.
That's Eevee.
Then you have
Flareon.
No Vaporeon?
Might have been on the back. I didn't get pictures of the back of the car.
Okay, and
I got all these photos before I went in to. Like, this was such a last minute decision to go to this event. I forgot to bring the battery charger for my phone. I forgot business cards. I literally just went as an attendee just to kind of have fun and reconnect with people I hadn't seen in years.
And there was Licorice Recoil. This is Konosuba.
Yeah, you got Megumin. Well, this was kind of a, because you got Bakugo here too, so you have a mashup of different characters. And then you had some really talented cosplayers.
Excuse me.
Has Been Hotel.
Alistair and Lucifer, of course.
Yeah. Of course, we had the Freerun group. They did not have the purple hair girl with them. I was surprised. The cool thing about this was that in the little treasure chest that Freerun is holding, they had little bottles of alcohol, which I graciously took one. And really cool little thing. It was a mixture of Mountain Dew and vodka, which I said yes to because I'm a Mountain Dew addict. And then we had this duo. They were actually handing out cream puffs.
Is that a Mashal?
That's exactly what I was thinking with the cream puffs.
I think it is Mashal. And then One Piece.
I thought that looked more like Grim than it did what's his face from One Piece.
And I don't know what this is from.
Hold on, I think I do.
I think
I know it, but I can't put a finger on it.
Was that Delicious in Dungeon or?
I was going to say the girl on the right looks like Delicious in Dungeon, but I'm not sure because I'm not.
Dungeon Meshi could be.
Not 100% certain.
And then you had Inuyasha and Sesshomaru. You don't see a lot of Sesshomaru cosplayers. I've seen a lot more Inuyasha than Sesshomaru. And the fact that they had the little Jockin with them was pretty cool.
Doug, John Knight says hello.
Hello, John.
And also says he finished Konosuba, an explosion on this wonderful world, and it was a very good fantasy. This is a prequel to Konosuba, an explosion on this wonderful world. Blah, blah. Prequel to the original Konosuba anime, and the characters were quite good.
It was really good. And then we had Twilight Sparkle.
I was going to say.
MLP.
And then that was Gavin's booth. I wanted to get a photo of his booth so I could post it and try to get people any of our friends that were at Colossal Con to go by and say hi. He didn't have a ton of table space, so he did not have his art books out at the time. He had a ton of puzzles, um, a ton of really, really cool stuff. I wish I had had more money to spend because there was a few things that had piqued my interest at a various number of tables. In fact, over here you can see the hat that's Gavin kind of hiding. I think that was the last photo.
Me too.
So that was a lot. That was the fun that we had. And like I said, I did end up getting Michelle Rojas's autograph on a Koyagami piece, which some of our loyal listeners may have remembered. We did a new game special years ago, and Michelle was one of our guests in that show. So of course I had to get that one. She also voices Roxy in Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation. So I was tossed up between Roxy, or Toru from Dragon Maid, because she also voiced Toru. But it was nice to get a chance to finally meet her. Also ran into a cosplaying friend of ours, Ari Lynn, who has been a guest on the show a couple of times. She did win an award in the Masquerade, Most Improved. So congratulations to her.
Excellent.
So
I saw her Facebook post about being at the convention.
I saw and didn't pay no attention to where she was at.
I have a lot of friends. I have a number of friends who were out there.
Yeah, I made a post about it and then got about 6 comments on Saturday being like saying, "Man, I wish I had seen this yesterday because I was only there Friday." And Ross says that he had the a character autograph that he got from Michelle Ruff yesterday was a holographic 17 by 11 Saber poster. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
I love the holographic pictures and stuff that they do. There was a lot of good artists there as well. Few people that I'm going to look at as potentially getting on the show because their artwork was really impressive. Like I said, I didn't spend a ton of time. I was probably only there about 4 or 5 hours. But it kind of felt good just to get back to a convention as an attendee with like no obligations. Now, Anime Boston is fun, but when you're pressed, there's a lot of running around, a lot of stuff that we're trying to do to get a lot of coverage and content to put out there for you guys. To be able to just go to a con for fun with no obligations and stuff kind of was refreshing. I'm not going to lie. It's been a while since I've done that, and I did use some promotions. Some of the cosplayers I got photos of. We got I got Instagrams from them. Got a couple of new subscribers here on the YouTube channel. So big thank you to them. Everybody looked amazing. A lot of really good cosplayers. Due to the fact that my phone battery was draining fast and the phone charger I had in the car was not working, I ended up having to call it early and end up buying a phone charger on the way home. Those things are expensive.
Well,
yes.
Also, so, I don't know how it is for iPhone, but for Android, they're notorious for detecting the phone chargers you buy and will intentionally slow your recharge times if they sense that you're not using a charger from that company.
100%, spot on.
Samsung is the worst for it. I will admit it.
100. My Pixel does the same thing.
Because it's funny. My boss bought a new fan for the office. Well, come to find out, the dang thing's battery powered and it's got a Samsung charger to it. And then also in the store, we have a charger for our tablet credit card machine. They are both micro USB, just like our phone charger. I plugged in my phone the other day to the one for the credit card machine, and it said charging, estimated time to 100%, 5 hours.
Yep.
And then I switched to the one for the fan she just bought, and it was dropped down to like an hour and 20 minutes.
Yep. That's how that works.
That's terrible.
Welcome to technology.
Mm-hmm. How they grab us by the cojones.
How
But also, I've been buying Samsung phones long enough to where nowadays when you buy a phone, they don't give you the brick adapter anymore. They just give you the cord. I've been buying the phones long enough that I still got the bricks. So whenever I get a new phone, I already have the wall charger, and I don't have to go get a new one. I
uh
don't have to get a new adapter.
Yeah.
and the more recent phones, it's type C to type C.
Exactly.
Now, granted, I have some type C bricks kicking around, but man,
And then you got some phones that, well, of course they're not going to go this way permanently, but you got wireless charging. That's
Yeah.
popular.
yep. I will say having a wireless charge pad in my car is convenient.
I just
Ironically,
hate.
I have one on my computer desk, but it's not plugged in. I usually just plug in the phone direct because I use the same cord to charge my Switch as I do my phone. So it depends on what I'm doing as to what
Oh,
the
I
phone does.
have cords. I have cords everywhere.
Honestly, I miss my plugged-in earphones. I miss my little headphone jack. I don't like wireless headphones at all.
100% agree. Um, that being said, you can get the dongle on Amazon.
Now, a little bit of anime talk here. Darren, have you been watching the 2.5 Dimensional Seduction?
I'm behind on it. I was telling Angela earlier, I'm only caught up right now on Alia, Failure Frame, and Shikanoko.
Because I just caught up on 2.5 Dimensional Seduction, and that has actually been really, really good.
You're welcome.
I've been enjoying that one. Alia, I think I'm behind on. I'm behind
Ye-
on VTuber Legend because that dropped while I was working. Same thing with Wand and Sword. I'm behind on.
Yep, same here.
Trying to think,
All
is
I
there
can say
anything I'm
is
caught?
Yuki did. All I can say is Yuki did it again. She set yet another level of being a degenerate and an otaku.
I think I am legitimately behind on everything but 2.5 Dimensional Seduction, which is about par for the course because it's been a busy week.
Yep. I'm finally caught up on my personal schedules because the rain has finally subsided.
Yay!
So, which means I will have more time allocated for either projects or more anime this week. Because this is my lighter week.
Ah, well, if you don't have projects coming in that pay you, watch some anime.
I
Reward
have been
yourself.
trying. I've been trying throughout the week.
Because you work very hard and you deserve the little breaks to enjoy some shows. I did see a Rias Grimory cosplayer at CCE. Unfortunately, I was in line and was not able to get a photo of her, but I did notice her walk by because I recognized the outfit right off the bat, and I was like, "Oh man, I should get a picture of her and for Darren." And then I never found her again once I was done in the I think it was an autograph line.
Nice. Well, I mean, that outfit is iconic. I mean, props to a lot of these school anime, but that's one show where the outfit actually was different than the rest.
Yeah. And I'm not sure the next event that I'll be able to go to. It might not be till next year after I get some vacation time, but I will have to figure things out. I know that there was a guest announcement for AAC, another anime convention. Bryn April's going to be going there. I'm sad I'm going to miss it. Would love to meet Bryn. She's been a friend of the show's for many years. A lot of talented characters that she's voiced.
And if we weren't traveling, we would actually be attending AAC.
Darren, you got to meet Bryn.
I believe I did.
Because you got me the Alba, or not Alba. What's it from? Show by Rock, the main character.
Oh yes, you're right. I did, and that was that Animate this past year, or was that an Anime-Zing?
I feel like that was longer ago than that.
That was last year that you got that, because you gave me I got the autograph from you when I went down to Georgia for training.
That's right.
At some point.
I think that was at I think that was at Anime-Zing last year.
It's a good possibility. Ross Luck in the chat says, for Angela, Friday Universal Studios released the modern remake of their original Wolfman trailer. It looks good, even though I never saw the original.
Same, actually. Never saw the original.
I don't even know that.
It's a classic. The original is a 1941 monster movie.
Okay.
They remade it in 2010, starring Benicio del Toro. Huh. That's interesting. And subsequently, they're remaking it now.
John Knight in the chat says that he finished Natsume's Book of Friends seasons 1 through 5 dub. It was a good anime. The music was good, and the animation was also good. I have not seen that one.
I've heard of it.
But I haven't watched it. In other movie news, there is a movie that is due to come out next year that I'm actually kind of interested in going and seeing. So the person who doesn't watch movies has found a movie he's interested in going to the theater to see.
And that is?
The Minecraft movie. It drops on my birthday.
You know, I have never fallen into the Minecraft phase. I've watched my friends play it. I've watched other people play it.
I still play it.
I have, and honestly, I've never had anything to do with it.
I tried playing it and didn't last more than like 20 minutes. That was years ago. I used to watch Achievement Hunter play Minecraft for years until they stopped playing Minecraft because they got bored. They started focusing on other games instead.
Well, the main thing that amazes me about Minecraft is just how much you can get away with and how much you can actually do with it.
Hence you could have a weekly let's play of Minecraft, and they had over 300 episodes. And speak of the devil, someone if you look carefully at the screen behind me, speak of the devil, someone I don't know who is playing Minecraft.
Yep.
I don't know what Let's Play is being watched.
Oh,
In fact,
prob-
some of the YouTubers I watch are Minecraft YouTubers, like the Jerome ASF. They do a lot of modded Minecraft videos and stuff, different challenges, everything from every 2 minutes a chunk disappears. And they're trying to
So
beat the game, which was really funny because Jerome plays with, he's got friends that he plays with that are employees, but his friends at the same time because they make money. He does a 3-hour live stream and can make a few $1,000s, which is insane in tips. I know he doesn't get the full amount after YouTube takes haircut and stuff. But
and then the Beast Crew is known for doing a lot of Minecraft related content.
According to John Knight, today is also Star Trek Day. And Ross says he's more interested in Black Phone 2 next year.
I don't even know what that is. I'm guessing a movie of some sort, but I've never heard of it.
So
Ditto.
a silly idea.
No ideas are silly.
I have Minecraft on this. I allegedly have Minecraft on this PC.
Okay.
If we did a stream where we did something silly where I play Minecraft, but I do what everybody tells me to do.
That could be fun.
Mm-hmm. So it'd be like Twitch plays Pokemon, but you're listening to chat instead of having the commands directly affect your.
I need to upgrade computer before I can do Minecraft. I can play a lot of other games, but Minecraft is not one of them that I can do on this computer. And eventually, I will be caught up enough to where I can upgrade or probably just get a new computer.
Doug, if you were to give me specs of what you want as far as what you want the computer to do, and some semblance of a how much you are willing to eventually spend, I can basically have people I know who do this kind of thing give recommendations and or put stuff together.
Once I can figure all that stuff out, I'd be happy to.
Because I'm not letting you Frankenbox something again. No refurbished crap.
Yeah. Oh, but that's half the fun.
No,
it's like watching SAO. You know.
I don't like being left alone with our guests because their computers decided to glitch on them.
Oh, yeah.
To be fair, mine just died.
He was referring to.
I know he's
Morgan
referring
Berry.
to you. I know he's referring to you. I know mine did that during a show.
I remember. Am I the only one that has a sound computer?
Yeah, because you're on a tablet.
No, my computer.
No, I mean with my actual laptop. I haven't pushed my laptop beyond its capability in any way, shape, or form yet.
Well,
No,
my laptop is fine. I just do everything on the desktop.
No, my PC, my PC was a gaming rig, and it just so happened that one of the parts on the inside decided to go kaput because it was old. Because at that point, the PC was 3 or 4 years old.
Look, do you know how long I made my HP laptop last me?
Too long.
10 years. I cooked
Yeah.
the motherboard. I cooked the motherboard in the oven 3 times to fix the graphics card issue on it.
I don't know enough. My desktop, I don't know enough to do that, and it got to a point where I had the money and said, and a pre-built gaming rig was on sale. So, and I'm doing more gaming. So I said, the heck with it. I'll just buy a new machine. And that is
Fair,
100% what I did.
fair. But yeah, I had to take my computer apart, strip all the parts off the motherboard, put it in the oven, put tinfoil under the motherboard, cook it in the oven, pull it back out, let it cool off, put it back together, and it would work. Because what would happen is my graphics card would the over time the solder joints would break, become disconnected, and cause graphic failure. So what putting it in the oven did, melted the solder on the joints and caused them to reform in a solid structure. And I've done that 3 times with that dang motherboard. Kept that laptop going for over 10 years.
That's crazy. I remember you telling us about that. It's still crazy.
I ran Windows 7. I never upgraded. And I had the AMD premium processor. And I only had 2 gigabytes of RAM, but my friend gave me an extra RAM stick, so he upgraded me to 4, I think.
Yeah, I don't know a ton about computers and stuff like that. So it's like I just want to be able to play, video games. I know my wife would like to play World of Warcraft.
So she wants to play WoW.
She wants to play WoW. I love playing like Minecraft on the Switch. I think it'd be fun to play it on the computer again as well. I just have to relearn everything. But I have fun with some of the games that I've been playing. John Knight in the chat says today is Jonah Scott's birthday. The voice of Legoshi in Beastars, Willie Tibber in Attack on Titan, Joe in Skate the Affinity, and Takagi Oze in Fire Force. And speaking of Joes, another person that I saw at CCE over the weekend on Friday was our friend Otaku Joe. He had his table set up there. It was wonderful seeing him and chatting with him. At some point, we will get him on the show because he is a lot of fun to talk to. I always love seeing him at the conventions. I know, Ange, I've introduced you to him at Anime Boston.
That is very possible.
Hail Satan. That guy.
That guy. I vaguely
Yes.
remember who you're talking about now.
Yes, that guy.
He likes to say that at conventions. In fact, he would say that to Gavin because they would table near each other all the time. It was like, I think 7 or 8 conventions in a row or something like that they conned near each other, either across, diagonal, or beside. And they just started saying that back and forth. And Gavin told me about it. And so I started saying that to Joe. And so it was great seeing him as well. He travels all over the country for conventions. He's everywhere. He always has good merchandise. A couple years ago, he was at Colossal Con East, and he had a Kuma Bear blanket, kind of like the blankets that you have, Ange.
Yep.
And I hemmed and hawed about, it was like $60 for it. And I hemmed and hawed and decided not to get it, and I have not seen that blanket since. Even searching online, I couldn't find it. So I'm like, man, I should have just bought it then and there.
So basically, something basically identical to this, except it was Kuma Bear.
It was Kuma Bear. I think it was a little bit thicker blanket, but it was Kuma Bear, which Darren and everybody knows that I love that show. That's why Darren has a figure from Kuma Bear waiting for me.
Yep.
So in your house, there's two figures, one for each of us that are still there.
Yep. Yep. They're sitting on top of each other.
He's holding them hostage until one of us or both of us show up at his house to claim them.
How
And we're with the schedule that I've been having, I don't have consecutive days off now because again, next week I'm on the same train that I've been on for the last 2 weeks. So it'll be 3 weeks in a row where one day out, one day back, one day off, and then out again.
which means which means in all likelihood it would be I somehow at some point ridiculously managed to get a flight down to Raleigh, convince somebody to pick me up at the airport or get an Uber and just show up at Darren's house.
I'm sure we could figure something out. I'm getting more seniority, so the fact I can hold the job is nice because that means it's somewhat of steady income, even though the train itself is kind of a pain in the butt.
Granted, if I showed up at Darren's house, I'd take over the kitchen, bake a batch of cookies or brownies, and leave them there for Darren to disperse to whoever.
For Darren and his mom.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, at the rate we're going, my my friends that started a whole D&D group, they're taking this thing to the next level, and they're doing all kinds of stuff every single weekend that we meet up, and I'm basically there as white noise because I've missed just about every session except for an hour.
A part of me would actually want to sit in to see how your group plays D&D, how that compares to my different groups, because no group plays the same.
Yep. You know, it was funny. I was in Matt's house the other night, and he was having a discussion with one of his friends for their D&D group that used to meet on Sundays, and how the DM for this one was different than the DM, and the rules that they followed, and da 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 da. And even though I still don't fully get D&D, I'm hearing enough about it that I'm starting to follow it. So
Yup, different groups use different house rules or different add-ons. That's a thing.
Different books.
Some groups call themselves D&D groups, but it's really completely different role-playing systems. Such a shout out to Faye, which we got to play test on air.
Yeah. And things have been going good for Jay Moores and Faye. I know he's been traveling around doing a lot of conventions. I see his posts up all the time, and
Same, and Faye was a lot of fun.
that was fun. And I had beginner's luck.
And if I were going to choose my own character, I would not have chosen the healer, but you know.
She would have chose Maple.
No, I only did that once.
I just like poking fun at you for it.
I know, and that was a lot of fun. And John Knight's sharing birthday knowledge with voice actors.
Today is Robert McCollum's birthday. He's the voice of Rainier Braun in Attack on Titan, Jalal and Mystigan in Fairy Tail, Shinobu Sensei in Yu Yu Hakusho, Sweden in Hitalia, and Mifune in Soul Eaters. The knowledge you have on that stuff is unbelievable, John. I mean it when I say our listeners are amazing with the knowledge that they have.
You know what I'm going to do?
No.
Bake cookies for everyone.
I totally would. I totally would if people wanted to share addresses, not publicly. Please don't.
But that's what a phone book's for. That used to be public knowledge.
Locally. I don't want to dox anybody. No, on a semi-serious note, if I happen to find a blind bag while I'm in Tokyo, I will grab one, open it on air after we get back, and then raffle off the contents.
That could be a lot of fun. I'd be curious to see what's in there. If you can find one.
If I find something.
Also, I know that one of the YouTubers that we both enjoy watching recently opened up a bar. I know that you said that
Yep.
you've added that to your
Oh,
regimen of your
that has been
destination.
added to the agenda of places to go. I also have a laundry list of coffee shops to check out that's way too long. Because I like coffee.
And I kind of said it jokingly, but if Chris Broad's actually at his bar, get him. You just use your magic and get him to come on the show.
I am not guaranteeing anything.
Oh, I know. You don't get. I know there's no guarantee, but I know how you like to run your mouth, and then we end up with tables at conventions
we end
or
up with
random guests, or
we end up with nonsense that
How to
somehow
say,
works.
play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
But no, in all seriousness, while I'm there, due to time zone and other things, I will not actually be on the show while I'm gone.
Boo.
However, I will be posting pictures to social media in real time, so keep an eye out for that. And then I'll do a special after the fact of, a breakdown of what we did, show off pictures.
She's going to go to places where Sea Dog VA fell off his bike during his bike-a-thons.
Actually, that's entirely possible.
Although the most recent one, he didn't fall. Chris Broad did, and I think
wasn't it PewDiePie's fault?
No. Chris rode into
guest.
the back. Chris rode into the back of Connor's bike when he fell, but I think somebody else also fell. I don't know if it was PewDiePie
or no.
Pete,
There was
or
somebody.
Giga had the rain day.
There was also a prank where the bikes were lubed up to.
That was PewDiePie who lubed up everything on Chris and Connor's bikes.
That was it.
But it was still hats off to Connor for raising over $1 million for the IDF.
And American Pete, the hype man himself.
Yes. Pete would be fun to have on the show too. I like watching his stuff. He just has like the stories, and his personality is so engaging that you just want to sit and listen. His presentation is very goofy, but it keeps you entertained and interested.
Yep. And the way he acts, you'd never know he was my age.
Yeah. We watch a lot of random stuff.
Yes, we do.
Trying to look and see if there's any other shows and stuff that I have been keeping up with. I do want to talk a little bit about VTuber Legend. This show is completely off the wall.
Is this another one you had no idea what to expect going in, but you're here for it?
This was one that I was like, okay, it's an anime about VTuber that forgot to shut their stream off. It could be kind of interesting. So I thought it would be fun. And hello, Karma. Speak of the devil and he shall appear. It was wonderful to see you in the chat. As I mentioned earlier, talking with Gavin at the convention, your name did come up about the fact that you've been around for so long, and we Always love seeing you in the chat. Love seeing everybody. But the VTuber anime, I didn't know what to expect going in, and it is so off the wall from what I expected. I have been watching it both subbed and dubbed. I watch it subtitled as it drops, so I'll probably watch the newest episode tonight before I go to bed. And then probably tomorrow I will sit down and watch the dub with my wife because she's been enjoying it as well. As I've mentioned before, one thing I like about the show is how they take the world of VTubing seriously, and they don't show, like, anybody who's not a VTuber, you don't see what they look like. They're just kind of like a 2D cutout that walks like this. As opposed to every character that you see in like an anime girl style is their VTuber model. So I kind of like how they use that to like hide identities and stuff like that. But the stuff that goes on is just so off the wall. There's one character that basically sits there, calls herself a baby, and just wants to be coddled, and everybody is her mommies and daddies. And it's like, it would really caught me off guard at first. It's been entertaining, but it's definitely something that's, I'm not going to say it's Nokotan weird, because that one was just really bizarre, but I am going to say this one's a stretch. It's been entertaining, but it's been a stretch for...
Nokotan has been... I don't know how to describe this one.
Let's see.
But all I'm going to say is, oh dear.
I'll give you an idea. I only watched 4 episodes of Nokotan, and there's 5 that have been out. There's 10 that are out right now. So I have not watched that in a while.
I'm mostly caught up. And the most recent one, Shikanoko, is at the temple for New Year's, and she's playing a god.
I have been watching Alaya, but only have been watching that in dub, because in the English dub, the character actually does speak Russian. Where I think, Darren, you were saying that in the sub one they speak English, like it's Japanese, and then when she speaks Russian, she speaks English.
That one, no, that one scene where it's English. They speak English in the Japanese version, and they speak Japanese in the English version. That was not Alia. That was Yuki, the little sister.
Oh, okay.
But the Japanese voice actress that plays Alia does speak Russian in real life, because she actually did several courses in Russian. If I'm not mistaken, she actually went to Russia and lived there as a transfer student for a couple semesters, back before Russia was, well, what it is today. It was less discouraged.
In the chat, John Knight says that he's going to watch the new dub episode of VTuber Legend tomorrow. Ross says Wednesday he did binge watch No Longer Allowed in Another World. I'm behind on that one. He said it's very funny. So he might binge watch Failure Frame, but not sure if it has romance in it.
It does.
I know that, the what are we? Is it, what's it? Summer season is almost done. We're getting ready for the fall season shows, and I think we all were looking forward to more like fall anime than we were the summer.
Yep.
So I was looking ahead now at the fall stuff. Starting in late September and October, ReZero Season 3 was coming out. Arifueta Season 3.
I can't wait for that one.
Seirei Gensoiki Spirit Chronicles Season 2. I probably butchered that one. But Spirit Chronicles Season 2 is coming out. Danmachi is coming out with Season 5.
Can you
Shangri-La
believe that? Can you believe that show has gone? We're now on the 5th season of that.
I never saw Season 4. One thing I'm seeing a lot of is Seasons 2, 3, 4, 5. Not shows that are coming out with a Season 2 or more. ReZero, Blue Lock, Spirit Chronicles, Arifueta, Shangri-La, Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, SAO Gun Gale Season 2,
which I am really looking forward to, I might add.
As a Reincarnated Aristocrat, I'll use my appraisal skill Season 2. We have a remake of the Ranma 1/2 anime, Rurouni Kenshin Season 2, MF Ghost Season 2, another 7 Deadly Sins, After School Hanako-kun Part 2, Demon Lord Retry R, so that's a Season 2, Love Live Superstar Season 3, so, and I'm still going through. I'm guessing this is a the Prince of Tennis has another one has another series coming out. Idol Masters Shiny Colors second season. So a lot of Tunbo Season 2. So there are a ton of shows that are having a second season that's dropping or a continuation. I'm kind of excited about Demon Lord. I'm not gonna lie. I'm excited for that one. Love Live, I'm excited for. I'm just curious if anything that's like not a continuation season is going to jump out at me.
I don't know.
Is there anything that's been... let's see here. John Knight says, today is the 26th anniversary of Pokemon dub that aired in the USA.
And also next month is the 10th anniversary of Your Lie in April.
Wow, it's been that long already?
And this is for you, Darren, from Ross. I did binge watch all 6 English dub episodes of Chain Soldier. Good show. The voice actors killed the
pink-haired girl
is best girl.
It's the first actual halfway decent ecchi we've had in God knows how long.
I'm gonna say too long, even though that's not really my thing.
The last decent ecchi to come out was probably 2018, I want to say.
Did I watch Chain Soldier? I did. I did see that one. Yeah, that one was pretty good. But yeah, trying to think of what the last good ecchi was, Darren.
Yep. I don't remember the last good ecchi. Like honestly, when I think ecchi, I'm thinking High School DxD, Testament of Sister New Devil,
Rosario Vampire.
High School of the Dead. Let's see, what was another good one? Uh, uh,
Girls Bravo.
I think you were the one that watched Super Hexeros.
Yep. I
Okay,
did see that one. That one was okay.
then there was let's see.
Interspecies Reviewers.
Yeah, that's not really well. That was etchy, but that wasn't the quality etchy that I'm thinking of. World's End Harem, I guess, was one of them. Da, 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 da.
What about Freezing?
Oh my god, I still need to finish season 2 of that, but I love Freezing.
That one was good.
Um, Man, that's taking us back.
As I pull one out of thin air.
To
Darren
love
forgot about.
to love Fruit was a long-standing one. I still think we had the potential to get more of that in the future, considering how the episodes that we got the were always jumped a couple years apart. Because there's more to Love Rue that can be adapted.
It would be nice to get more of it. You know, a show that I wish that they had dubbed more of. Because there's 4 seasons of the show, but only the first season got dubbed. Familiar Zero. That it's not an ecchi, but that was really good.
Here's one that got a different production company, so the voices changed every season, and that was Ikitosen.
Ross in the chat says Mock and Key was good.
No, it was not. I will fight you on that one. Season 1, decent. Season 2, god awful.
I think we could have seen that with a lot of shows where you have like the first season comes out and it's fantastic, and then they put out a second season and it just doesn't live up to the hype.
Well,
And I think that happens in all genres. I'm sure, Ange, you can think of shows like that you've watched where season 1 was great, season 2 is absolute crap.
What comes to mind for that actually was not anime, but 90s television. Heroes. Season 1 was like the best sci-fi adventure show to be on major network TV. They killed it. It was fantastic. Season 2 was so bad. And it got worse from there.
I kind of, anime wise, I kind of felt that way about, is it, not is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon?
Data Live?
Data Live after season 3 kind of fell off. It almost felt like they were stretching to try to bring new spirits in.
Well, they were just doing what the light novel had already laid out.
Oh, I know, and I'm not blaming the anime for that or anything like that. What was the other one? With Sadao Mao, Devil is a Part-Timer.
Oh, Devil is a Part-Timer.
Season 2, I just could not get into. You know, they brought a kid in, which, you know, a lot of questions about where the kid came from and things of that nature. Obviously, I'm sure if I had continued on with the show more than like 4 or 5 episodes, I would probably figure stuff out. But
Yeah, but at that point, but why?
I tried watching it in Japanese and couldn't get hooked. I was like, you know what? I watched it originally in English, so let's see. Maybe it's just the I'm
If you
used to it
watch
one
season
way.
1 in English, then if you watch it one way to start, you have to watch the entire show the same way, I find, for me anyway.
And so I went back to try to watch it in English dub, and it still couldn't get me past
You
the
know
same
what?
point.
You
And
know
I
what?
hate saying that because I loved the original.
I will make a case. I could argue Attack on Titan after season 3. Because the first 3 seasons were actually really good. Anything after that was just like, okay, but why?
And then if you flip flop it, you have Sword Art Online, which started off as crap, and as you and Darren have said, it got better as it went.
I would argue that there was only one story arc that was bad, and it wasn't. And it wasn't season 1, or was not the first story arc.
Like I said, I lost interest in the romance, and I just never looked back.
And that is fair.
Alpine was like a brief snippet. Like it literally spanned the course of like what, 7, 6, 7, 8 episodes.
Something like that.
It was really short-lived.
And it was shit.
Mm-hmm.
Gun Gale was good.
Yep, I liked Xenon.
And then everything after that was honestly good. Alice is we agree Alice is best girl.
Yep.
And Ross, I believe again this is for you, Darren, but DxD season 4 was bad.
No, it wasn't. The art was questionable. The rest of it, no. If you were to have read the novel, you will see how season 3 ruined it.
Now, something that on a more serious, not instigating note, Ross's comments, after watching the whole series of Data Live over the years, I'm questioning, was it really ever romance? Because, spoiler alert, at the end of the series, he doesn't end up with anybody.
Which kind of feels like that would be par for the course with him. But,
he was kind of forced into the job, if you really think about it.
Yeah, he was forced into the job, and the feelings that he developed for these girls or spirits seemed more of a stronger friendship than it did romance. His job, he basically was rent-a-boyfriend.
Basically.
He had to try to get these girls to fall in love with him, never meaning that he actually had feelings for him. It was just his job.
Oh well, my God.
To an extent, there's another show that had very similar premises, Doug.
Attack on Titan?
No, The World God Only Knows.
Yeah.
I
wanted to see if Andrew would do a spit take on that, but it didn't work.
Nope. From the chat, Doug's trying to get me to react.
So what? Attack on Titan?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you had actually seen The World God Only Knows. I'm like, dang.
Nope, never heard of it.
I've heard of it. I think I started watching it, actually.
From the chat.
Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
From the chat to you, Darren, from John Knight, do you still like the sub of High School DxD?
Of course. That's all I watch.
That's one of Darren's top 3 anime of all time.
Yeah.
That might be a fun thing to do. We haven't done that in a while. A top 5 list.
I think me and Ange were along the lines of that last week, talking about that.
We kind of started, I think, but
might be something fun for an upcoming show if we all try to write down our top 5 favorite shows of 2024 thus far.
Oh, of 2024.
We can
Yeah.
do all time. It don't matter.
We could do we could make a couple of lists and have stuff ready
Yeah.
for future shows.
Actually, an idea that got tossed around while we were out. If
Oh,
if people are interested, AJ said he would willingly come we would before we leave for our trip actually do a well how did we plan everything show.
That could be fun. I mean, you could even pre-record that, and that could be like a Patreon thing.
Potentially.
Keep talking. I mean, we keep saying that we need to do more with Patreon because
Yep.
sometimes I forget that we even have that.
yeah.
That's bad of me because I work so much.
Ross is the instigator tonight, and Darren, it's all to you.
Of course it is.
Sorry to make you hate me, but they need to reboot DxD season 3. Or need to reboot High School DxD. Season 3 had voice changes. Season 4 had animation changes. So ...
No, they didn't have voice changes in season 3. If you're watching the dub, they did. If
Yeah,
you
in
are
the
watching,
dub they did. I think
I'm
that's
saying
what he's referring to.
Exactly. I know what he's referring to. I know exactly who he's referring to. But
And we know how much you love Rias's voice actress.
no.
That
No.
struck a nerve.
No, you know which voice actor he's talking about, right?
I don't. I assume Doug does.
Oh,
It's Issei's voice actor got into some hot water and was basically arrested as a result. So that's why Josh Greeley is Issei in season 3 and 4.
and I was poking fun at a voice actor that Darren has strong feelings about, not the positive way.
Hey, her work is good. That's all I'll say. I don't like how she dubbed. I don't like how she co-wrote the script for DxD, and that's part of the reason I don't like the dub. Because it turns the whole series into a joke when the sub actually has serious undertones that the English completely undermines. And that's the part that pisses me off the most. But then again, yeah, I'm also a novel reader, so there's that too.
So I think that's one of the big things about it too, where like I came in not having read source material or anything like that because I don't really read much, and I just watched the dub and was like, "This is great."
Well, same here. I came in without without watching or reading the source material. It wasn't until after season 2 that I started looking into the source material. So here I am, ready for season 3 to be adapted the same way seasons 1 and 2 are, and then they ruined it. Or not Katakawa, TNK decided to pull their little stunt halfway through season 3 and skip. They basically skip volume 5 altogether.
So is this a light novel or a manga?
It's a light novel. The manga ended shortly after season 2's events. Like, they didn't even bother continuing the manga. There's 25, 26 volumes of the light novel and countless like extra volumes. And the whole reason the extra volumes were even written was because of how season 3 was done. So all the EX light novels were a result of season 3's events and how the timeline got changed from the original main novel storyline. Because the way it had been doing it prior, season 1 covered volumes 1 and 2 almost to a T. Season 2 covered volumes 3 and 4 almost to a T. Season 3 was expected to cover volumes 5 and 6 to a T, and then maybe volume 7 was going to be like a movie. They ended up basically skipping season 5, volume 5's events almost altogether, and jumping straight into volume 6, and then took volume 7 and created an anime original ending as a result. And that is why season 4 had an episode 0, which retconned the whole thing back to the whole bit in season 3 regarding Loki and the Norse gods, to where it happened in a different manner. And then season 4 followed volumes 8 and 9, I think, or 9 and 10, I forget. But 11 and 12 is when it was really going to start getting like way deeper into what I've been trying to get you to read. But the main thing was we got our confession, which was the main thing me and my friend were hoping for. Because Issei, for many, many seasons, was cursed because of episode 1's events. Which, Doug, I'm sure you remember what happened to him in episode 1.
That was when he was with the girl and she said, "Will you die for me?"
And killed him.
And killed him. And then Rias was able to bring him back to life and be part of her clan.
Yep. But basically that was a curse on him up until the final episodes of season 4.
I need to go back and rewatch that series. And like I've said before, it was. I like how well written it was, because in seasons 1 and 2, I did not like Konako at all. I thought she was kind of a little bitch. And then by the end of season 3, I'm like, I love this character. Bless you.
Thank you.
Somebody's talking about Angela. Maybe Lady Beard is talking about Angela and Roberto.
Yep. but yeah. What was I trying to throw in there? Damn it, Doug, you made me forget.
That Angela needs to see vending machine?
No.
I like how you just slide that in there, and she always has a reaction. It's the same one every time.
Well, hey, you need to finish Goblin Slayer.
Exactly. You know what? When you finish Goblin Slayer, you can pick on me about vending machine.
So if I force my way through Goblin Slayer, you got to force your way through vending machine.
I don't have to do anything. I forced my way through Aho Girl, and Darren.
That was Darren's choice, not mine.
And Darren watched your choice all the way through.
Yeah.
So therefore, you are the only one that failed that challenge.
I did fail.
So
I am a failure. Yes.
So that means by being a failure, by anime logic, you're the strongest.
Yeah, no, that's not how that works. But okay.
No, it actually is. Look at the isekai titles. The weakest, the failures, they're the strongest.
Means I'm going to end up getting hit by Truck-kun and come back in another life with some absurd power. Or I'm going to get struck by a lightning bolt and go to another world with my smartphone.
Damn it.
I think I've skipped out on like the last 2 or 3 episodes of that because I was waiting for it to come out and then forgot about it.
What, smartphone?
Yes.
The thing I liked about Smartphone was season 2 actually developed a really good story, and it was very interesting.
Yeah.
That was when I think got better with adding a season 2.
Oh, and also, I think I was going to say this earlier. Anime back in the day, they would love to tease us at the end of like a second season that there's going to be more show, and then there's not. I think one of the biggest cliffhangers I remember was Sekirei. Oh, and No Game No Life too.
Yeah, everybody's still waiting for more No Game No Life.
Which
And,
never.
and I
And
remember how excited everybody was. We're like, oh, they're going to have a movie for No Game No Life. The story's going to continue. And then you found out it was a prequel. The
Well,
movie
hey,
showed what happened before the season.
it was a good prequel though.
It was.
and then there was Yuri on Ice, where they announced in the end that there would be a season 2, and season 2 hasn't happened yet.
That's because they're too busy making Ranmo in half.
It's
Which I
money.
don't know if that's going to hit as hard as the original did. It'll be interesting to see.
It will be interesting to see. I do know that. I do know. Excuse me. A couple of people who are extremely excited for it.
And I'm wondering if it's going to be like Fruits Basket did, where it's a more like it follows the story more traditionally, more serious, as opposed to the original Fruits Basket, which was more kind of comedy, had some serious overtones, but it was done in a very comedic way. And then you had, or if it's going to be like Trigun, where you see the original and then you see the remake, just go into the remake not expecting the same as the original, and it's good. If you went and think it was going to be something like the original, then it may not have turned out as good. As you were saying, Angela, if you looked at Trigun, the two different shows as individual shows, they were both fantastic.
Yeah. Oh God. From Ross, Doug and Darren. A wise person once told me, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. I
Good
thought
crowd.
season. I'm not sure what this is. As an aside, I'm not sure what this is referencing.
Smartphone, it looks like.
I thought season 2 got bad. Like, I felt they were dry a little bit on the comedy and watered down on the ecchi and smartphone.
That's because season 2 of Smartphone, like I said, they actually started to have a goal and something that they were working towards, which I think is why they started to water down the ecchi, and the comedy is still there in bits and pieces. The ecchi was every time he found a new Babylon area, what the different control panels would make him do. I mean, it wasn't as outlandish as season 1, but it was still interesting. I know that's a show that has no interest to Angela. Different topic from Ross. He says, different topic away from anime. Today is the 34th anniversary of Fox Kids Block on Fox for Kids. That is... I don't think I ever watched the Fox Kids.
I didn't. I definitely did not.
Because 30 years, that would be 1990, and I would have been middle school going into high school around then.
1990, I was... 1990, I would have been a little bit younger than that, but...
I was non-existent at all.
Darren was negative 24. No. Darren is the baby of the group.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
And touching on a subject that we talked about earlier, what shows are you guys looking forward to next season?
Definitely Ari Fuerta. Because it's got a similar, it's kind of funny. It's got well, I should say Failure Frame this season has a very similar concept to Ari Fuerta. Basically, a whole group of classmates are transported to another world. Your main character is cast aside by both classmates, one by the goddess, the other by the a jealous member of the class, and then both come back and get their revenge on basically the gods or goddesses that had a part in summoning them there. Because they basically got summoned there and got rejected. So it's like, why did you even bother? So Ari Fuerza ending of season 2, he went a little crazy. He basically pulled a Star Wars trick out of his rear. Um, he committed basically mass genocide, but not among the humans, but among the enemy. He's so indifferent that he just eliminates anyone that gets in his way.
Okay.
And Failure Frame, more or less the same thing. And of course, Ari Fuerta has your bunny girl, your vampire, you got a mermaidish little girl. Um, and then you got your dragon girl, Doug. So you got all three of them, and then like I said, the little mermaid-ish girl, who's like the baby of the group, and treats everybody as a family member as a result. She's adorable.
What about you, Ange? Do you have anything that sticks out?
The biggest one on my list is Gun Gale season 2. Going back to, I enjoyed most of SAO. I really liked season 1 of Gun Gale. Um, but that's the big one for me.
Did you watch any Blue Exorcist or no?
No, that's another one that it was on my radar and on my potential watch list, and then I kind of got
I watched
distracted.
I watched 8 episodes way back in the day because my friend showed it to me
MF Ghost. Why does that?
because it aired last season.
Okay. Oh, that's right. That came out about the same time as that Formula 4 racing one came out, and I chose the Formula 4 racing one, and that one actually was really good. Uh, Here's one that looks like it could have potential to be good, just because it's a JC Staff anime called Demon Lord 2099, action fantasy sci-fi, which sounds like that could be up Angela's alley.
Yeah, it does. Let me actually, cause Let me actually pull that up because we basically got so behind we gave up on this season.
And I'm trying to see if anything else really jumps out at me.
What did you say the name of that one was?
It is Demon Lord 2099 or Mao, MAOU 2099.
Okay.
Well, Angela's.
Ooh. Yep. That does in fact look right up my alley. It's JC Staff, which is a good studio,
Oh, yeah.
and it's a cyberpunk style. Yeah, that's going on. That is going on the list.
It's bad that it's like I looked at that and said, that kind of screams Angela.
Yeah, I am some level of predictable, except when I'm not.
Like, that looks like it has potential to be good. My only worry is you'll start watching it and be like, the story sucks. I'm dropping it.
That actually that has very much happened on more than one occasion.
Ross in the chat says he's looking forward to Ari Fuerte as well as Bleach Part 3, Goodbye Dragon Life, Spirit Chronicles Season 2, Nina and the Starry Bride, and Blue Exorcist. And Goodbye Dragon Life? I don't even know anything about that one.
I think we might have to at some point sooner rather than later go through the
list and
list and do a full
show on it.
rundown. Because while we've touched on different things, we haven't done a full rundown.
Yeah. And fun note, I being on this train again next week, I should definitely be here for the show Sunday. Sunday I should have off.
Should. We know how that goes.
Yeah. So that could be something for next week, unless other things pop up, or we will talk throughout the week and figure out what we want to do for the show next week.
Yep.
Winter 2025, Darren, has season 2 of The 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You.
Yep.
Trying to see if there's any other shows that we've watched that will be second or third season. Nothing that I see at the moment.
You said you're looking at 2025?
Yeah,
Winter.
the winter 2025. Toilet Bound Hanako-kun season 2 comes out in January.
I know people have mentioned Honey Lemon Soda.
I've heard about that one too. I don't know much about that one. It just says romance.
That is the one. That's JC Staff, and that one's on my radar, largely because it gives off Skip and Loafer vibes, if I remember correctly.
And let's see. Oh, the one I'm excited for that is the Guild Receptionist.
I was just going to say Guild Receptionist.
Yeah. I may be a Guild Receptionist, but I'll
solo any boss.
Just to clock out on time. You know, that sounds like one you might be interested. You could probably do, Ange, just for the fact I don't know. I think that would be one you may want to consider.
It's not isekai.
It's not, and it's Cloverworks.
And Cloverworks puts out a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, you might actually have me there.
And one that might be my guess is it could fly under the radar, could be good. Someday will I be the greatest alchemist? Adventure fantasy.
Hmm. I'm
Yeah.
I'm looking at I'm looking
Oh,
at this neat one.
Which one, Darren?
uh,
Oh,
Somehow I
neat. I
started.
see it.
Yeah. Yep.
Um,
However, when she is not working, she becomes an otaku neat, kind of like Umaru. Today, the house husband skills will continue to spoil. Da, 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 da.
Studio Quad. I have never heard of them.
uh,
I have.
Um, Inuni Natara. Oh, the dog.
the Red Ranger becomes an adventurer in another world. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that's something else DXD does. Angela, they have the Satan Rangers.
And hey,
On that note,
I
we are out of
at
time.
We are.
yes.
It
Says
has
who?
says the clock.
Yep. It is bedtime for me.
And Ross in the chat before we go said there are two isekai anime that he told us about in winter. Brink
I'm a noble
Amanoble.
on the brink of ruin and possibly the greatest alchemist. And yeah, on that note, be happy, be healthy, enjoy anime in
Have,
whatever form you like.
until next week when we have more chaos of the AZR style, and there's a chance that I could stream some games throughout the week. I will probably have some more time to do that this week as opposed to last week where things were just absolutely insane. Um, Also, I
But
want to throw a quick shout out to my wife who passed her certification to be a personal trainer. She took her test on Tuesday and she is now a CPT. So, congratulations to her.
that is awesome. Tell her I said congrats.
I will. So,
And
until next time, when we have more fun with anime topics, craziness, and who knows what, surprises galore.
yep.
This has been Anime-Zing Radio here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Everybody have a wonderful evening.
Good night, everybody.